the best time of the year to be a watch collector because as of this moment, Dubai Watch Week is raging and brands are taking advantage by coming out with amazing releases. So let's get right into it. So guys, this is going to be one of two videos that I'm actually doing talking about the new releases. This first video is going to be watches prior to Dubai Watch Week, and then the second video is going to be a follow-up reacting to all the amazing watches released at Dubai Watch Week. As at the time of this video, I'm actually filming it on the first day of Dubai Watch Week. A number of watches have come out, but I know there's a lot of brands that still haven't announced their releases yet. One of them being the new Freak or Urwerk and Freak kind of collabing together to create something that the watch world has never seen, which I'm all for. So I'm really looking forward to seeing all the brand new releases. But let's start first with one of my favorite releases of the year, the Dubuis Homage Perpetual Calendar. I think it's a watch that watch collectors have been clamoring for a very, very long time, at least fans of the Dubuis brand. For those who don't know, Dubuis was kind of very inspired by the Patek Philippe Museum, and he actually patented this double retrograde system, kind of first launching it, I believe, in the Harry Winston Opus series, and then later doing it in his own kind of brand and eponymous name. Now, of course, Dubuis collectors are familiar with both this complication and this homage kind of style of case, which Dubuis kind of went away from, creating kind of Excalibur and what I call hyper kind of innovative watches, or hyper watches rather, on the watch market, which wasn't really in line with kind of the original Dubuis watches. And so there's kind of two sects of collecting Dubuis. And I know a lot of fans of the brand who collect the kind of vintage at this point Dubuis watches are really going to love this watch. It's a perpetual calendar with a bi-retrograde format, mother of pearl inlay. I think this is really classic Dubuis. My one gripe is the fact that it's only limited to 28 pieces, but I feel that this is kind of a smart move. It's very much Dubuis testing the market to see if collectors are going to enjoy this. I have no doubt it's going to sell out. I believe the retail's around 137,000, which I know obviously isn't cheap, but is pretty in line with what kind of brands are charging nowadays for this level of complication. I was really excited at the start of the year when they released a bi-retrograde in the Excalibur case because I thought it was a sign of things to come, and ultimately I was proven right with this release. I'm expecting a lot more great releases like this. Hopefully they continue to build on this release and create more homages and go back to kind of their classic cases and classic formats, which I think is really where Dubuis shines. I mean, at 38 millimeters, I think it's like 11 millimeters thick. This is an absolutely perfect perpetual calendar for fans of Dubuis and fans of perpetual calendar complications. It's a beautiful watch, point blank period. And I think that they really hit the nail on the head with this release. Next up is a couple of limited editions, limited to 800 pieces by JLC in the Master Collection, now with a grained salmon dial. One version retailing for around 10,000 euros, which is just a time and date format, and then the other being a moon phase version, which I absolutely love. I love the moon phase version. This grained salmon dial is easily going to sell out for JLC. Again, my only gripe being the fact that it's a limited edition. I think this is the kind of dial that JLC needs to make in serial production. I think kind of their regular traditional line is really good. Obviously, you get your kind of sunburst silver and blue and black and all that kind of good stuff. But this for me has so much more character. And the fact that JLC really charges only marginally more for such a really, I think, beautiful dial is a real shame. I think this would be a real kind of good seller for the brand and something that they need to kind of evolve on and build upon for the future. Because at around $15,000 for the moon phase and around $12,000 for the date only version, I think these are two knockout releases, super well priced, relatively affordable, that watch collectors are clamoring for. And I think these are so elegant, so beautiful, so refined. But the fact that they're limited to 800 is a shame, but still, what an amazing release from JLC. I'd love to see more and more of this, especially with this kind of colorful dial with texture on it that really brings life to the watches themselves. As a fan of Grand Seiko, my favorite watch from them, bar none, is from the Elegance collection in the GMT range. Now, the GMT Elegance collection for me is absolutely the best watches that Grand Seiko makes. Actually, I nearly pulled the trigger a number of times on the SBGM 235, which has this awesome Whirlpool Grand Seiko dial, which I think are some of the best dials that the brand has ever made. But Grand Seiko has now released kind of two watches in the same or similar spirit with this beautiful guilloche pattern, non-limited editions from them in the reference SBGM 255 and SBGM 257, one with a blue guilloche dial and one with a white guilloche dial. They're priced right around 5,200 euros, which I think equivalently will be around $6,000 to $6,500 US. I think it's an amazing price point, super high level finishing, really interesting dial from Grand Seiko. Again, I think this is by far and away, without question, best line of watches. It just wears super great, great size, great proportion, great lug to lug. And the SBGM 221, which is one of their best sellers, the cream dial GMT, is a great watch. It just feels like a little bit too bland, at least for my personal taste. I wanted something with a little bit more character that wasn't really part of their current collection. And this for me really fits the bill. I mean, without question, this is a watch that will sell very, very well for Grand Seiko. And I hope that they continue to build upon the Elegance GMT collection and make really more fun, interesting dials like this, because I think without question, it's going to sell super, super well for them. So this was a great new release. I'm really looking forward to getting hands-on with them. And of course, potentially buying one for myself, because really this is something I've been in the market for a very long time. Now, next up is a bunch of piece uniques from Vacheron Constantin. I'm not really going to spend too much time on them. I'm just going to put some really nice photos of some of the unique pieces that they actually made. Again, celebrating the 270th anniversary of the brand. The brand is really flexing their muscles in terms of their technical watchmaking prowess and even just the artistry. Again, I think that's really what sets Vacheron apart, right? Their elegance and also just their kind of focus in on the refinement of pieces, right? The hand engraving, the complications, the displays that they're able to achieve on the dial themselves, and even just the beauty of the dial itself. It's something that almost has a bespoke quality to it. Obviously, these are all piece uniques from the brand, so they are bespokely made, but they're kind of done in a fashion that other brands like Patek Philippe or AP simply don't do on a regular basis the way that Vacheron does. So I would love to see more of this from Vacheron. I think for the 270th anniversary, they've absolutely hit a home run time and again with all of their releases. I think nobody can deny they've had the best year of releases by far and away out of any other brand in the industry. And again, this is kind of just them taking it to the next level and flexing their muscles. So congratulations to Vacheron. It's been an amazing year for them. Now, next is a brand that I've talked, unfortunately, pretty bad about on this channel, and that is Breguet. Not because I don't like the brand, but simply because I thought that the current direction was really a real shame. I mean, it's a crime, the fact that Breguet is in its current modern state, but with the new kind of CEO taking over and the 250th anniversary of the brand, they really have changed things around. I wasn't a huge fan of the release of the subscription, just because the price point for a single hand watch, I think coming in over $55,000, I think that's just way too expensive for what it was. But now with the release of the new 7235, it kind of showcases the direction of the brand, which I had really hoped for. With the subscription actually came a new case, which I really enjoyed. I think that kind of straight lug case from Breguet was something that a lot of collectors struggled with just due to the kind of proportions and how it wore and the lug to lug of it all. But this new case just wears way better on wrist, and it's so much more refined and elegant, and really I think is the new quintessential way that Breguet will express of course, its cases. Now, with the new 7235, it comes with a brand new guilloche dial, but with the complication most are familiar with, the power reserve, moon phase, and sub-seconds at 6. This is something that is very classic for Breguet. I think this release will sell very well. It's coming in at 65,000 Swiss francs and is limited to 250 pieces. Not a cheap watch by any stretch of the imagination. Again, maybe I'm just outdated in the way that I think, but I think these prices are crazy, but that's just kind of where it's at and what brands are charging for now. And I guess they have reason to charge if, of course, they are Breguet. Now, I'm going to give a shout out to Panerai, who has had a pretty quiet year of releases overall, in my personal opinion. I think a lot of brands have just outshone them overall. Brands like IWC, for example, but they just released the new PAM 01460, which is a new 40mm ceramic bi-tempo. I've been clamoring for them to come out with interesting new releases in 40mm for a number of years now. I think that size is a lot better. And this new ceramic GMT, I think, is going to sell very well. I would love to see more submersibles in 40mm or more interesting kind of dial designs in a 40mm case, in the Luminor case as well. And also in the Radimir, because I like both the Luminor and the Radimir. But overall, this is a really good release. I think it will sell super well for Panerai. And I'm really excited to see the future of their kind of emphasis on smaller case sizes. Even though I know it's against the design DNA of the brand, I still think the size is more modern and makes a lot more sense as compared to kind of a lot of the watches in their portfolio currently. So guys, this wraps up my favorite releases before Dubai Watch Week. Now, of course, I will make a follow-up video next week reacting to all the amazing releases I'm expecting at Dubai Watch Week. I'm really excited to see what comes out, but overall, this has been an incredible year for releases. I think watch collectors have really been spoiled. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of the rest of the year and next year brings, because brands have certainly been bringing the heat. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know what you think down in the comments below. What are some of your favorite watches released this year? Of course, if you enjoyed this, please be sure to like the video, subscribe for more videos like this in the future. As always, my name is Marco for Birdie's Jewelry. I'll see you guys in the next one.